Yeah, we were talking about the 17 steps of being happier than God. The feedback is fantastic. People love listening to this. They're getting a lot out of it. So I'm going to say again, let's close the show with it.
Well, number 11, we're just hopping around the list here, drop all expectations. Nothing presents a bigger obstacle to longer-lasting happiness, or for that matter, short-term happiness, than expectations. So drop them immediately and never entertain them again about anyone or anything. Forget about how you think things should be. There's no such things as should in the universe. Should is a made-up construction. It's a human construction, having nothing to do with ultimate reality.
Expectation is kind of just a secret word for attachment, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And it's not such a secret anymore either.
Right.
All we have to do is know that the twists and turns that remove us from the path that we thought we would be taking are not detours at all, but the fastest path from where we are to where we want to be. Otherwise, we wouldn't be taking it. Trust that God knows what God is doing. Know that life is always conspiring in your favor. That's what I like to tell people. Understand that expectation is just your idea about something, and that this idea does not and cannot take into account the complex interweavings of life's journey undertaken by all of us, sequentially and simultaneously. In other words, there's more going on here than meets the eye. There are more agendas than one. This is a single objective, but a multiple purpose life has. So if you can be constantly aware of that, you'll find that holding on to expectations only puts a crimp in the perfect plan and the playing out of it on the stage of life by all the players. Steve, what I'm saying here is simply that expectations place a limit on the way you define perfection. And that limit constricts your creation of perfection itself. Therefore, expect nothing and take whatever you get. Embrace whatever shows up. Again, as Byron Katie puts it so perfectly in her book, love what is. It's really not that difficult. If you've ever, by the way, I don't want to harp on Byron's work, but if you ever have a chance to attend one of her evenings or one of her classes or seminars, do it by all means, because it'll really impact you in person in a profound way.
She isn't. I talk about her a bunch also, because I've been to one of her events and read her books, and she's just, she's
powerful
one of the great
person, isn't she?
Yeah, unbelievable and soft-spoken, but powerful, and just the work that she goes over is just it's simple, and I said a million times, you don't grow spiritual, you shrink spiritual, and she's got that down. I mean, it's about simplifying, and there's incredible power and depth and simplicity.
Yeah. Number 13 on the list, Steve, speak your truth as soon as you know it. This is the biggest lesson I've learned in my life. There's no such thing as absolute truth in the objective sense, but there is subjective truth. There is what is true for you, and that is extraordinarily important in your life. So I want to talk to people about this. I want to let them know that what the opportunity that life presents us is to seek to live authentically, seek to be fully you. For it is in living with only half of you, showing only half of you known, only half of you expressed, that unhappiness is guaranteed. How to be happier than God? Let people see the other half of you. Don't run around and people don't even know the half of it. Don't hide your personal truth or your authentic feelings or even your here and now experience from anyone, least of all from your dearest loved ones or your beloved other. Interestingly, by the way, these are often the ones from whom we do hide the most. Isn't that interesting? The ones we love the most, we hide the most from. Usually we do it because we don't want to hurt their feelings or because maybe we don't want to lose them. So we keep them in place by keeping them in doubt, by keeping them in the dark, by not telling them all that of what truly is for us. This is exactly the opposite of what we most benefit from doing, yet we live as a recluse from the expression of our own truest feelings, hopes, fears, and desires. That's not living at all, Steve. That's dying. The death is slow, but it's certain. And
right.
One morning we wake up and we simply no longer feel alive. So I like to say to people, tell the truth, your truth, as soon as you know it. Don't think you're saving another person's feelings by holding back or holding in. A wonderful master once said to me, Steve, speak your truth, but soothe your words with peace. I have learned that you can share the most difficult truth gently. Do not think that by withholding your truth, you are saving others from hurt. You are not. You are killing them softly with your song. It is disingenuous and dishonest for you to do that. So what I'm saying here is to be happier than God, simply tell the truth to everyone about everything. Then live your truth in every moment and in every way. And you'll be happy forever in your heart, because truth makes the spirit soar. Truth sets the mind free. Truth opens the heart, and truth ignites the passion and releases the love of the soul. These 17 steps to being happier than God are part of the book, of course. Happier Than God, which has just been released, and it provides us with extraordinary tools, precisely and concisely explained, and they give us a toolbox with which to take the messages from all of the Conversations with God books and apply them as a functional, practical reality in our everyday life.
So Neale, we've got a couple minutes left, but basically what you're saying is in being happier than God, it's not something you think, it's something you do.
Well, it's something you are. And the are-ness or the beingness emerges from all of the things that you think, say, and do. And it's about changing your perspective about all of life. You know, perspective creates our perception. That is, how we see a thing is determined by the hill from which we're looking at, where we're standing. So perception is a product of your perspective. Perspective creates perception. Perception creates your belief. Your belief creates your behavior. Your behavior creates your experience, and your experience creates your reality. And your reality creates your next perspective. It's a circle. And once we see that circle clearly, we learn how to adjust the data, adjust our point of view about all of it, and suddenly change everything on the circle, our behaviors, our reality, our experience.
Neale, thank you so much for coming back on. We've reached the end of this show. I really appreciate you coming back on. I'm sure we'll have you on again soon. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for asking me. Enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you. You're listening to Empowered Living Life, the Truth, and Being Free. We were just listening to Neale DOnald Walsch. His website is ndwhome.com or cwg.org. Check out the new book, Happier Than God, Turn Ordinary Life into